So the next project, we're going to do the slab technique for the next project. And the slab technique is basically, you know, we've done the pinch pot, right? We've done pinch pot where basically, you know, it's usually round, you know, and we use our thumbs and we go inside and we pinch going round and round to form a vessel that is, you know, curved and very natural and not perfect. And some of us in the last quarter or the last year, some, not everybody, did coil. And if we didn't do coil, we'll probably do it this year in this class. But coil is basically, it looks where, you know, you create a vessel, but you're creating a vessel or form basically using little coils that spin around, and you know, you roll them out. They look like little snakes. Okay, so using coil technique, laying down, you know, a coil of clay. But what we're going to be doing now first here is slab. So basically we are going to construct. So if I did a little piece like this, just a square vessel, right? Something like this. This could be constructed out of strips of clay, like as if you were working with wood. Okay? You know? And it's basically slabs of clay. So in other words, I have a base, and then on that base I am going to put down a piece of clay going down, and I'm going to attach the clay right here. And what happens is, when I attach the clay here, I am going to do two things. I am going to scratch the surface here, and I'm going to scratch the surface here, and then I'm going to put some slurry, right? Slurry is just like some really gooey clay. It's kind of like it looks like just like cement, but it's very watery, kind of pasty, peanut butter like cement. But it's really clay. It's just watered down clay. And what happens is that the clay goes inside these scratches on both ends. And what you're doing is, instead of putting clay together like this, you know, it could crack. So when we're putting these slabs, these very stiff pieces of clay, and we're not like blending it, we're just putting them together. How do we keep them together and keep that nice geometric union of these planes, these flat planes of clay? So the way to do that is by using the score and slip. Okay, so slip is that very watery clay that we're going to use. That would be the cement. But what you're doing is, the scoring is, instead of cementing it together this way, because that could crack, you know, where it's like this, what we're doing is we're scoring. So if you can imagine the clay, when you scratch it like this, being like my knuckles here, and then if I put the goo on both ends, and then when I kind of put the clay together and I go like that, I just, you know, and it's bonded, then the clay is like this. And then when we fire it, it's strong. It won't crack. And then the ugliness right there, you just take your blender tool and we blend it together, and no one would ever know. They'd look at a piece of clay like this, a slab vessel, and it looks very smooth. But no one would ever know that in here you have some scoring and some slurry in there and what have you, just to cement it together. Okay, so we're going to learn about these techniques, and basically the project is going to be, the theme of the project is based on geometry, geometric design. So you're going to create a vessel. Sure, the most easiest vessel. You want to get a C in my class? Just do this. Okay. All right, Billy, you got a C. Okay? You got a C. But, you know, why do that when you can do something that looks, maybe, I don't know, maybe something that opens outward? You know, This is like an upside down trapezoid. That could be a better grade, you know. Now we're going into the B zone. Yeah, but what does it take to get an A? Oh, what does it take to get an A? I don't know. Something that looks maybe, let's see, let me draw it. So maybe if I have a square vessel like this, and I'm going to be like, okay, I want to, you know, hold on, let me see, okay, I do, maybe I'm going to do a, maybe I'll do something like an octagon base or a pentagon base, and then, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, slabs or different kinds of pieces. This is a rough sketch, of course. And then maybe it goes inward. So now it's going to, and then it goes outward again. You know, so we're thinking, you know, there's geometry here. Maybe it's kind of like crystal-like. Now, one of the things that I'd like to see in your drawings, in your sketchbook, thinking about a geometric vessel, is whether you are going to have it be symmetrical or asymmetrical. Okay? These are design words. Right? So remember that symmetrical, right? Symmetry, and then asymmetry, right? So symmetry and asymmetry. Okay, let me see. I need to sharpen this pencil. Okay, that's good enough. Right, so remember that symmetry. Anybody can tell me what symmetry is? Huh? That's right. Well, a better way of saying, I mean, you're in the right ballpark. There's identicalness to it, but where's the identicalness? On both sides. Your face is symmetry. Unless you eat something very sour, then you start wincing and maybe now it's not so symmetrical. But your face is symmetrical, your body is symmetrical. Right? Asymmetry means it's not the same on both sides. So, if I did this, like let's just say a drawing here, like this. If I did a circle here, I do a circle here. If I did a triangle going like that, I got to do a triangle going like that. If I do a little wavy, I got to do a little wavy. Asymmetry, it's not the same. I do a circle here, I do a triangle here. I do a zigzag here, I do a curve here. I do a star over here, I do the letter A over here. It's not the same, but yet I try to reach a sense of balance. So, when you're designing your vessels, you can look at something like this, and you could say, okay, if I fold this in half, you know, right in the middle, it's pretty symmetrical. What I have on one side, I have on the other side. So, you can explore a geometric shape this way. But you can also have a geometric shape where, let's just look at the silhouette. Maybe I do something like this. And I have a geometric shape that looks like this. And then so maybe my vessel is like this. And it's just not so... You know, you might be putting a piece together that looks like this. You know, where you could see wow, I need to really sharpen this. Hold on, people. So then we could do something like this where, you know, your piece might be very asymmetrical. So it's not the same on both sides. So I want to see some drawings in your sketchbook that look very similar to this. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be 6 drawings, and I don't want to see this in your sketchbook. I don't want to see page 1. Page 1. Okay, page 1, and here's your drawing, and it's somewhere in here. Whatever. Here's your drawing, and then, so what's happening in here? Oh, you're going to do all 6 drawings on one page? No. Use the whole page, please. The whole page per drawing. The other thing, too, is this. I need you to explore, seriously, to explore the base. So, when you do a drawing, you need to consider that you are going to, let me see, oh, my papers all fell down on the floor. Here we go. You have got to consider that, for instance, a basic square vessel, I'm going to have a drawing where I have a square, and then this is the template, and when I stand it up, bam, right? But hey, you know, what if I'm going to be making a nice symmetrical pentagon kind of vessel? So remember that. How do we make a pentagon? You know, you can look it up on YouTube. They're all over the place. I will have some compasses that you can borrow. And with a compass, you know, so what I'm trying to say is when you're making your sketches, don't limit yourself by what you are capable of doing. You know, there are many ways of doing this. If you get a compass and you go anywhere on here and then you start doing this, and you can look it up on YouTube. I think this will make a hexagon, actually. This is going to be a hexagon. Can anybody tell me what a hexagon is? How many sides are there on a hexagon? Huh? 6, that's correct. Pentagon? How many on a pentagon? Octagon? So anyways, you get my drift here. So already here, I've already made it where if I want to do a hexagon, because maybe this is the base that I want. The base, the bottom of the vessel. Then I have to think about, alright, so what is going to be my sides? If I do my sides like this is a template right there. Base, wall. So when I construct this together, it's going to look something similar to, let's see, so it's going to open up very wide. So it's going to be something like that, right? So you're going to see that the vessel because down in here is, if we have 3D, you're going to see down in here is that hexagon, those 5 sides, and then the walls open up. And if the walls open up like this, that means it's going to open up. Now, I can add to this. I can do, with the same length, I can do one that goes down. Something like that. Another template for the slab. So what does that do? That means that then this piece is going to go inward, like a diamond. And whatever, I ran out of paper here. Right? But it would go inward. So you go out, and then in, and then you could do another one going out again. So this is how we will start assembling. What I want first is just 6 drawings, again, in your sketchbook that are kind of like explorative. In other words, you know, just like this, filling up the whole page. All right? And in fact, let's do it this way. 3 symmetrical, and 3 asymmetrical. Okay? 3 symmetrical, 3 asymmetrical, and yes, geometric designs. This is what I want. I want it rough. Not rough that I don't know what it is, but I want it rough filling up the page, and it's got to be rectilinear. That's also another way of inferring geometry. Remember from last year, rectilinear means it's full of rectangular angles and lines versus curvilinear, which is mostly organic and round and smooth and void of a straight line. So I want rectilinear geometric vessels that are, you know, in your sketchbook. Three symmetrical, three asymmetrical. This is asymmetrical, and if I do a line in the middle, you can see, like, yeah, it's not the same. It's not a mirror. All right? Okay, so that is our next assignment that we're going to be working on with clay. I will be putting things on Edmodo and what have you, and instructions, but for now, this is it. Okay? I'll write it up on the board too. All right. Any questions? No? Okay.